And we're back. I'm Jack, your British goat, and today we got the greatest catches in baseball history. This is from the channel Baseball Doesn't Exist. I'm looking forward to this one. Let's go.
In the nearly 200 years of baseball, we've seen some amazing
catches.
We've seen some extremely stupid catches. We've seen catches that didn't even count as catches.
Wow.
We've seen catches that have saved
that would have been a home run, though,
and
surely.
catches that have almost ended
for a
lives.
double.
Players will do almost anything to make a catch. This guy went swimming to make a catch. One time, a dog even made a catch. This catch saved a game, almost cost a team their season, almost cost the team to move to another city.
Ooh, that's a broken leg, surely.
Got them into the playoffs at the same time. This catch turned a 12-year-old into a celebrity, made him tens of thousands of dollars, and cost the team their season. Did I mention it was illegal? This is illegal, and this was also called illegal.
How is that
the
pitcher catching
that
illegal?
wows us, but in the history of baseball, it's never been officially determined what the greatest catch of all time was. Until now. Of all the insane catches on the field, this was the 10th greatest catch in baseball history, and I'll tell you why. Some of the greatest catches don't even happen on the field. This fan caught a ball with fried dough. Catching a ball in food usually ends in disaster. Food all over you. But not this guy. The ball went into his nachos. Not only did he maintain possession and catch the ball, all the nachos got on somebody else. The perfect outcome. This girl caught a ball with their prosthetic leg. This guy caught a ball in an umbrella.
Nice.
This guy went to 30 games a year for 30 years and never caught a ball until this. He caught this ball with his bare hands. It was hit 108 miles per hour in over 415 feet. People will do anything for a foul ball, even put their child's life in danger. And it's amazing. This guy caught a ball with a baby, didn't even leave his seat, and she barely even woke up. This guy caught a ball over Adrian Gonzalez with a child in his arm. This guy had to drop his baby in order.
That would have been a foul, though, right? But if he caught it, he would have been out.
To make the catch.
Just trying to make sure I'm clear up my rules.
Worth it. But unfortunately for this guy, he dropped his child while trying to make a catch. Didn't even catch the ball and got in a little bit of trouble for doing this.
He got in a lot of trouble.
Not even this one can compare to the 10th greatest catch of all time. This is Dave Davidson. He is a ball hawk, a group of people who wait outside Wrigley Field who fight for home run balls that leave the stadium.
I'd love to do that. That'd be awesome.
Dozens of fans lining up trying to make the rare but unbelievable outside the stadium catch. Now, this street is closed for traffic during games, but for decades, these guys were literally dodging cars while trying to catch home run balls outside of the stadium. Dave Davidson has been doing this for close to 40 years. He once caught 2 outside the stadium home runs in one game, but his most impressive feat happened in 2007. Barry Bonds was chasing the all-time home run record. Games were getting sold out everywhere he went. Each home run ball was instantly worth thousands. Closing in on the record, Bonds visited a sold-out Wrigley Field and packed the bleachers hoping to catch a home run ball, but Dave was in his usual spot, and in the second inning, Barry drove one. Disappointed fans watched it fly out of the stadium, but Dave...
That is cool, though. I'd love to go there and try that.
Running catch in traffic for a ball that today is worth tens of thousands of dollars, and he didn't even have to buy a ticket. Judging a catch based on difficulty.
But how would you know it's coming over?
According to statisticians who created a stat called catch probability, it's based on 3 key factors: how much distance a fielder covered, how fast he covered that distance, and what direction did he travel. On this play, Billy Hamilton ran over 120 feet in 5.08 seconds, got up to 22 miles per hour, and made a diving catch. 12 of the most technologically advanced cameras on Earth are at each MLB stadium, monitoring where a fielder starts, where he ends, how much distance he covers.
I don't think, especially myself, of being new to baseball, in the sense of, yes, I've done this for a couple of years, but I did 2 videos in 2024, and they weren't even baseball. So I'm new to baseball. And I think even for me, actually appreciates the level these fielders go to get that ball.
How fast he covers that distance and what direction he runs. All of that info is put into a calculation that decides how great a catch was. On this play, Sal Frelick travels 90 feet, gets up to 27.9 feet per second, hits the wall, and smashes his teammate in the face while making the catch.
Hey, gotta get that ball.
This a 5% catch probability. But sometimes a great catch looks easy. This play had the same exact catch probability, 5%. But Jacob Young is fast and takes the perfect angle, making it look easy. This amazing looking catch, on the other hand,
he did that
had
without
a
even slowing down.
99% catch probability. The route was so bad, Bellinger made it look hard. So traveling long distances in a short amount of time at the perfect angle on a ball hit at a difficult trajectory and angle is what makes a catch great.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Is the 9th best catch of all time.
Hey, let me see this.
Denzel Clark on the move back after he stepped.
Wow! Let's go. Let's fucking go.
This had a 95%
He
catch
could have dropped that
which
easy.
makes 0 sense. Catch probability only works for outfielders and cannot calculate things like an approaching wall or the distance a player jumps or other random annoyances that can make a fielder's life a living nightmare is not factored in, which is why no matter what catch probability says, this is the 8th greatest catch in history. Sometimes in baseball, happens. Like when the Tigers were trying to avoid
I want to say as well, like, shout out baseball doesn't exist, because this is like, I'm loving every second of this video. I've been asked to react to this so many times. Like, not this video, but his channel, and I never have, and I'm disappointed in myself, because the way he does these videos, we're only 5 minutes in.
Walked off.
I'm a fan of his videos already.
Came on the field. The center fielder missed the ball, and they lost the game.
How did you miss that? That's
or when something that is insanely bright and 1.3 million times the size of the Earth, called the sun, blocks the ball, and you can't see anything. The sun is undefeated. Nobody has beaten it until Brandon Marsh did this, tracking down a ball on the run. He completely lost it, couldn't see it, and still made the catch. For decades, players had to battle literal bullpens on the field while trying to make catches. Trevor Plouffe was running for this ball, then bam, a bullpen showed up. Yes, the A's had a bullpen on the actual field. So did the Cubs. Even the Giants had one.
What's that?
Their outfielder tripped and fell on their bullpen so badly, he got a concussion, missed a ton of time.
That's crazy.
And when he returned, he was never the same player. He since sued the team, saying putting the bullpen on the field led to the injury that cost him millions. And the bullpen soon after was removed. But nobody terrorized fielders in their own stadium worse than the Astros, who for some reason had an actual hill in center field for 17 years. Instead of having a 400-foot fence like everybody else, they pushed their fence back 30 entire feet and added a hill, resulting in some of the best and worst catches ever. People falling face first.
Are you allowed to do that
on the hill? There's also people like Beltran, who caught a ball 430 feet from home plate. Dave Roberts, who used the hill to his advantage and robbed a home run on the hill. Jim Edmonds, who ran all the way back there and caught one over his shoulder while diving. But none of those are better than the big Puma.
On the way to Makoviak, sends a high fly ball center. Berkman back up on the terrace. And I believe he did.
So I feel like
turned around at the top of the hill,
you could design your stadium in this way, like the hill they said the Astros have, like to actually make it even harder. Like, can you do that? So I thought everything would just have to be flat and the same dimensions, but clearly not.
Makes an over-the-shoulder grab. These are catches that no stat can explain or do justice. Sometimes life throws a literal bat at you and you have to catch it. You get no credit in the stats, but you can't tell me this is not one of the best catches ever. Sometimes an opponent stands right in your way, gets tangled up with you, knocks your glove off of you, and you have to make a catch with no glove. The stat says this is routine. What about when Kevin Mitchell overran a ball, reached up, and caught a ball with his bare hand? Or when David Wright, over his shoulder, reached back and with no glove caught this thing? The stats give no extra credit for making an out with no glove. But this guy made an out with no arm, and that's why it's the 7th greatest catch in history. Vince Velasquez is a right-handed pitcher. He's always been a right-handed pitcher, but Adam Eaton smokes one at him, 96 miles per hour in the arm. Moments later, he'll be on the ground, writhing in pain, and have to go on the injured list. But in the moment,
curveball, it hits Velasquez.
But he's still, you know what? I'm sorry.
His arm is screwed. He ditches his glove and chucks a ball to first base with his left arm to get the out.
I am a Phillies fan, but I've never really watched a Phillies game.
On the line for your team.
I'm now a massive fan of that guy, no matter where he's gone to in his career.
Who made the 6th greatest play in history, and it cost him his career. Plays like this make you a legend. Like when Derek Jeter in a tie game in extra innings against his rivals went face first into the stands to make this catch. His face was visibly bruised. He needed 7 stitches, but it ended up winning them the game. Aaron Rowan's face looked like this after he
You just
broke
wouldn't
his
think,
nose
like,
going
injuries like this
full
from
speed
baseball,
into
would
a
you?
metal railing in center field in Philadelphia. Rodney
Wow.
McRae destroyed a wall,
Fucking
went
hell.
right through it, and made a catch. It wasn't even a major league game. Turner Ward went through a fiberglass wall that cut up his entire body, hurt his shoulder and his elbow, and still got the ball in. He did this while his team was losing 9-0. Not even that comparison, staring down a 250-pound grown man
Yes,
full
let's
speed
go.
directly at you.
That's what I
gonna
wanna
get
see.
destroyed, but taking it on the chin anyway. Until recently, catchers were doing this since baseball was invented. They had no other choice but to wear it, and nobody did it better than Buck Martinez.
I will say though, surely that's illegal, right? That's not
in
something
a game
you can.
in 1985. It's a tie
can
game.
do.
There's a single to right field. The entire stadium is cheering this guy to score. The throw comes in, and the runner destroys Buck Martinez. He's out.
Surely you
and
can't do
Martinez
that.
is on the ground. He cannot move. He has a broken fibula and a dislocated ankle, but he still makes the throw to third. The ball gets away, and another runner is coming home. Martinez somehow catches a throw while on the ground, then pivots to get another guy out. 2 outfield assists in one play by 2 different outfielders, and Buck Martinez caught both of them. He was 36 and would be carried off the field, missed the rest of the season, and was only able to play 81 more games before retiring. A play so good that it ended a career. But it's still not as good as this play, because this one almost ended an entire franchise. Ken Griffey Jr. was never not making an unbelievable catch. He ran about 200 feet and catapulted himself off the wall to make this catch. He almost ran as far for this one and robbed a home run that was so far over the fence, he got a standing ovation in an away stadium. Robbing home runs was easy for him. Watch him time this one up and take it back with what looks like zero effort. But his greatest catch happened in 1995. The Mariners were a terrible franchise, truly despicable. They'd been around since 1977, and they hadn't made the playoffs once. They had just finished dead last in attendance. Ownership needed to replace the old decrepit stadium, but the city wouldn't fund any of it. Other cities like Tampa Bay would have loved to fund a stadium, so it was clear, unless something drastic happened, the Mariners were leaving Seattle. The players knew they had to win to keep the team in Seattle, so when this ball was hit in a tie game, Griffey went all out.
Swing, and it's a fly ball, right center field and deep. On the run, Diaz and Griffey. Griffey up against the wall, jumps up, and he makes the catch.
Since this has been shown millions of times.
That's got to have broken his leg though.
At the time, it likely saved multiple runs, but Griffey was hurt. He broke his wrist and would miss 73 games. And during those 73 games, the Mariners were mediocre. Without Griffey, they went under 500 and were 13 games back in August. During this time, the city of Seattle voted no on approving funding for a new stadium, essentially a nail in the coffin for the team staying in Seattle.
Are they
Griffey
still in
returned,
Seattle?
things changed. With Griffey, the team this year was amazing. 42-39. When they returned, they got hot, going 27-16, tied the division, and entered a 1-game playoff where they beat the Angels, got in the playoffs by 1 game, then upset the Yankees in a legendary 5-game series. The excitement over this late season comeback and playoff run in Seattle was so crazy, the city changed their mind, and after the season approved funding for a new stadium, keeping baseball in Seattle for the foreseeable future. A direct result of making the playoffs, which they did by 1 game. You could argue if Griffey doesn't go for this ball, lets it drop, and doesn't miss 73 games, they make the playoffs easily with Griffey in the lineup. You could also argue that if they lose this random game to the Orioles in May, they have 1 less win, and at the end of the year, they miss the playoffs by 1 game. Meaning, because of this insane grab to keep the Orioles scoreless, their record was just good enough to get to a 1-game playoff, win that 1-game playoff, beat the Yankees, and save the entire franchise. Because of this 1 catch.
Catch can also
I'm still shocked he didn't break his leg.
Just ask the Orioles. After this 12-year-old, he became hated and beloved for doing this. According to the rules, a spectator cannot reach onto the playing field to hinder a catch. However, when a fielder reaches over a fence, railing, or rope to catch a ball, he does so at his own risk. Essentially, the rule says, as a fan, you cannot reach over the wall to make a catch. But if a player reaches over the wall into a fan's area, they can pretty much do whatever they want. New York fans are famous for this. This kid catches one over an outfielder and immediately gives him the business, screams at him, shakes his glove at him, rubs it in his face because he just got his team a home run. A few minutes later, it was called interference and he was escorted out of the stadium. This man with the Yankees neck tattoo makes an amazing catch, but he reached over, it's illegal, and he got ejected. In the 2024 World Series, Mookie Betts catches this ball. This fan pries it open while the other fan grabs his wrist so his friend can strip the ball out of his glove. This was also deemed illegal because the catch was made before.
Hey, look, if you're a cunt. You're a cunt. Like, come on.
Going over the wall.
Have fun,
In
but
this video, however, Mike Trout
cunt.
goes up to catch a foul ball, catches it at the same time as this fan. This fan strips it from him, then thinks he did something wrong, tries to give the ball back to Mike Trout, looks extremely guilty, but this was 100% legal. Since the fielder reaches over the fence, the fan also has the right to the ball. That's
but why are you ripping out
in
his
some
hand?
rare instances, a fan could essentially play defense, interfere, and prevent
But I can't lie, if I was at the front there, I wouldn't rip out their hand, I'm not a dickhead. But I would try to catch
from making a catch in order to help the team they're rooting for win, and it's completely legal. And that's what makes this the fourth greatest catch of all time. It's game 1 of the 1996 ALCS. The Yankees were down 1 in the 8th inning when Derek Jeter hit a fly ball to right field. It looks like it's going to be caught at the wall, but a 12-year-old catches it first.
Well, he wasn't catching it, to be
Their
fair.
pitcher runs all the way into the outfield just to argue with the umpire. This home run tied the game. That eventually went into extras. This ended up being the difference as the Orioles ended up losing. Had this never happened, the Orioles would likely be up 2-0 after game 2. Teams up 2-0 in a 7-game series have an 80% chance to advance. Instead, the Orioles got eliminated in 5 games. Orioles fans were furious. A classmate of the kid who caught it made a short film called I Hate Jeffrey Meyer. One reporter even accused him of being a criminal. And they were kind of right. According to the rules, as you can see on the replay, this was not one of the rare instances where fan interference would actually be legal. This was very illegal. But instant replay didn't exist, and this could not be overturned. So in New York, this kid became a hero. They put him on their shoulders, interviewed him during the game. He was offered to be on baseball cards, travel to Japan, and even appear in movies. When the Yankees made the World Series, he was invited to sit behind home plate. 20 years later, the glove used sold for $22,000. And for good reason, because a fan making a catch that literally helps their team advance to the next round of the playoffs will likely never happen again. That's why it's the 4th best catch ever, even though it was illegal. However, there have been better illegal catches. Yadier Molina once caught a ball with his chest protector. That sounds impossible, but he had so much pine tar on it, it actually happened, which is why it's illegal. You also can't catch a ball with your uniform. Many players have done it, but few have gotten away with it. Nick Pivetta did this once off a 106-mile-per-hour line drive that could have killed him. It got stuck in his jersey somehow. He took it out so quick nobody noticed and made an out without ever actually catching the ball. You can't use detached equipment to catch a ball, meaning if you touch a ball with your mask, that's illegal. If you throw your glove at a ball and it makes contact, that's illegal. But if you catch a ball, it gets stuck in your glove, then you take off your entire glove and throw your entire glove to the first baseman to get the out. That is completely legal, and El Duque did it to perfection. Nolan Arenado made an amazing but illegal catch on this play. He grabs it, but his momentum takes him into the stands. That's illegal, but it isn't rare. Going full speed for a ball often leads a player putting themselves and everybody else in the stands at risk, including their food and drinks. People get destroyed. Players come up hurt, but it doesn't stop them from going face first into the bleachers to catch a ball.
For the team.
Todd Frazier once caught a ball without even catching a ball doing this once. Look closely. He dives into the crowd to catch a ball, but it drops, and this fan picks up the ball. But Todd Frazier also has a ball. He shows it to the umpire. The umpire calls it a catch, but this wasn't the real ball. While he dove into the crowd, he saw this rubber baseball. picked it up off the ground, showed it to the ump like it was the real baseball, pretended he caught it, then got rid of the evidence while walking back to the dugout. This was definitely an illegal catch. But what happens in the stands stays in the stands. Nolan Arenado knows that better than anybody.
I don't agree with cheating, but I love that. That's cool.
He catches this one over his shoulder, bounces off a tarp, and makes the throw right on the edge of the wall. He did it earlier this year and almost killed a little girl, but said sorry, and everybody was happy. He put his body on the line and went face first, ate a cup holder on this play, and wasn't even able to make the catch. On this play, he catches it, stumbles, and falls into the seats. He throws it in, but afterwards, the ump rules that both runners on base get to advance. This is due to the catch and carry rule. It's a rule that says a fielder, after catching a ball, cannot step or fall into any out-of-play area, which means the third best catch of all time was also technically illegal.
Much room over there as Rizzo gets on the tarp. He makes a catch.
Rizzo steps on the tarp, then steps on concrete with metal spikes, catches it, then jumps on the back of a chair, doesn't fall, and somehow throws it in while balancing on the back of a chair. And the umpires ruled this no catch. The rule book states that in order to make a catch, a fielder must be on or above the playing surface. Rizzo was on the tarp/wall, but after discussion, it was ruled that the tarp and the wall were part of the playing surface, meaning this was a catch. However, since he fell into the stands afterwards, the runner on first got to advance, which takes nothing away from the acrobatics of the catch, because at the end of the day, that's the most important part of a nice catch. Everybody wants to see a guy like Austin Jackson track a ball, time the jump, and flip over the fence for an amazing play, or Gary Matthews go on a full-out sprint, turn his entire back, then catapult off the wall and rob a home run over his shoulder. Or Jeffrey Chandler, this player from North Greenville State, risks his life to catch this ball, lands on his head, and holds on to it. But when it comes to acrobatics, nothing can top the second best catch of all time.
Fucking hell. Wow.
Japanese outfielder Masatu Akamatsu takes 2 steps on a vertical wall, then somehow stays up there long enough to take this ball back, which should have cleared the fence by at least 10 feet. But no matter how acrobatic a catch is, it cannot be considered the best catch of all time.
I am very intrigued, Joe. What is number 1?
Unless it happens when it counts. Catches that not only blow your mind, but also happened at the most important time. Like when Jordan Zimmerman was one...
I will say one more time, because this is a long video. If you have not yet subscribed, take it off the full screen. If you're on the TV, press the down button. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button right now. Let's turn that red button grey. Let's get me to 4,000. Let's do that right freaking now. Thank you very much.
Out from a no-hitter.
And a ball driven to left center. Souza. He's got it! He's got it!
That's crazy.
It's a no-hitter!
Mark Souza secured a no-hitter with this catch. But that's not a perfect game. There's only been 24 perfect games in history, and there should have been one less. Mark Buehrle had a perfect game going into the 9th inning. Needed just 3 more outs, but Gabe Kapler smoked one.
So what is the difference between a perfect game and a no-hitter?
Wise back.
Makes the catch!
Let's go.
Wayne Wise makes the catch! What a play by Wise! Mercy!
Wayne Wise,
like, I know the perfect game was nobody
somehow held on to it, and Mark Buehrle will be forever enshrined in history
getting on base
because of this play. In a tie game in the 2018 ALCS, the Astros had the bases loaded. They were down by 2 runs. Alex Bregman smoked one. This, without a doubt, was going to win them the game, but Andrew Benintendi robbed it. It was so electric, the radio broadcaster literally fell out of his chair.
He made the catch, he did! He got it!
Wow.
The Red Sox win!
Not even that was as impactful as this catch, which somehow has been
Just
completely
show me number 1, man.
forgotten,
Get a bit bored,
but was
can't
an
lie.
inch from being the greatest play of all time. It was Game 3 of the World Series. It's the top of the 4th, It's tied at 0, but the Braves are threatening with runners on first and second. And Dave Justice
I'm not going to do long
drives
videos
one.
after this.
It looks like it's going to score at least
I enjoy
2.
them, but this is a lot of time.
He's still running back at the wall, jumps and picks it off the wall.
David White makes an insane catch. The Blue Jays won this
It's
game
more
by
that they keep
1
hold of
run.
it that
In this
impresses me.
series, they won it in 6 games. Without this catch, the Blue Jays definitely lose this game, and there's a good chance they have no World Series victory. But it gets better. White throws the ball in. The Blue Jays get the double play. They then throw it to third, get Deion Sanders in a pickle, but the umpire rules him safe.
Isn't he
was clearly out. This should have been a triple play in the World Series that saved them the game and perhaps even a championship. Instead, it's almost completely forgotten. Nobody would put this play over Willie Mays' catch, which is what most people considered the greatest catch of all time. It was 1954. It's game 1 of the World Series. It's tied 2-2 in the 8th inning. A ball is hit to center field. It would have been a home run in pretty much every stadium in history. Unfortunately, the Polo Grounds is the only stadium maybe ever to for basically no reason, be 500 feet to center field. 100 feet deeper than basically any other center field in baseball. When balls would hit the wall in center, players would run forever. No fielder was fast enough to track down a ball 500 feet from home plate, except Willie Mays. In a tie game, he tracks this ball down and catches it 420 feet from home plate. No run score, the Giants keep the game tied and eventually win the game and the World Series. But no, this was not the greatest.
I was going to say, because
that was done
not better than anything that we've seen so
Sahlberg
far.
Of Lower Columbia College, playing the Northwest Athletic Association Community College Championships in front of 643 people.
Let's go.
Future major leaguer Keone Kela comes to the plate and hits a bomb.
Wow.
Derek Sahlberg goes airborne
Let's
and catches
go.
it. A catch in front of 600 people that night was the #1 play on ESPN's Top 10. It sent him to the ESPYs that year, and it happened in the bottom of the 9th inning with his team up 2 with a runner on base. This home run would have tied the game. Instead, Derek Sahlberg makes what might be the most risky and athletic catch ever, while simultaneously winning his team
and again,
a
it's
playoff
keeping
game,
hold of that
making
ball.
this the greatest catch of all time.
I'd agree. Well, that was crazy. Look, let me know what you're thinking down below. Is there any catches that you think should have appeared there? If you're happy to see these long videos, I can't lie, I'm not too interested in sitting down and recording one video for 20 minutes. But, you know, if you guys want to see them, I'll do it. The next one, you can clearly see on the screen now, is 18 minutes long. I'm not really looking forward to sitting down and doing that. But let me know what you want to see. And, of course, we're down here. Hit the like button and subscribe button. Hope you have a great day. Peace.